Hello, welcome to Ascension Arcana Tarot. This is Christine with a weekly romance reading. As always, this is a general collective reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. God, what does this collective need to know for their romance journey this week? What do you want this collective to know for their journey this week here? There we go. That's a funny energy. That's a very funny energy. All right, so the first two cards are the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. So I'm laughing because the Knight of Pentacles for me is like this very slow energy. And the Four of Cups just looks so bored. I feel like if you're in this collective, you're waiting for something or you're working towards something. Like maybe a manifestation, maybe you're waiting for someone to make a choice and you are like so over it. You're just bored and you're sitting there like, come on, dude, how have you not made this choice yet? This is a funny energy. I feel like that Five of Swords is you putting your hand on your head. Like, come on, man, let's go. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of impatience here for whatever this Knight of Pentacles energy is. And this poor guy, like, he's just enjoying strolling through this beautiful field with his beautiful pentacles and his horse. And he's like having a nice stroll on this day. And you're over here waiting for him. Like, really? You can't just get on your horse and ride on over here? And then his like face palm. I'm just reading this as a face palm. That's a very funny way to read the Five of Swords. Okay, so if you're in this collective, you might be like, oh my goodness, why is this manifestation taking me forever? The Six of Cups is very sweet. It's like kind of the odd man out here in the energy, but it's making me feel like there is something very sweet that's coming in. The Six of Cups can be a card of like reunion or a card from the past. You can see it's like the little boy with his puppy, and then as time is passing, right, he's like more grown and he has like the older dog. I'm kind of feeling that reunion energy, that maybe this is something that you had set into motion like quite some time ago, and it's just been sort of playing out and growing and manifesting like over a period of time. But there's also a sweetness here. Like you have some level of surrender or like trusting that this is going to come about, that the Knight of Pentacles is on his way. It's like you're kind of face palming about him, but you also know that he's on his way and he'll get there when he gets there. Yeah, that's sweet. So we have the Sun and the Six of Pentacles. The Sun is a super joyful card. For me, it's one of the most positive cards in the tarot. So, I mean, I just love her kind of stance is even joyful, right? She's kind of got her hands thrown back. Her heart chakra is wide open, kind of facing up to this beautiful light of the sun. The color and the vibe is so different for me in this Sun card versus these. So this is feeling like a breakthrough in this energy. What I'm really feeling with the Six of Pentacles is like a rebalancing of resources. So I was feeling this when I was reading this. There's two figures in this romance reading, right? There's the Knight of Pentacles and then there's you, my listener. These two cards actually go together, so they maybe shouldn't be on a separate row like that. So the Knight of Pentacles is this person that you want. It's this manifestation that you want. That you've been kind of working on putting into place, and it's just taken its slow, sweet time to get to you, right? This is your energy where you're bored and you're face palming and you're like, really? You can't just jump on your racehorse and like dash in here? So it kind of feels like a power imbalance where this Knight of Pentacles is just strolling along, like totally not in a hurry, enjoying his day. But you over here are feeling pretty impatient and it's like you're excited and you're happy for this energy to come in, and it's just taking its sweet time. And there's kind of like a lack of urgency or a lack of excitement in that energy, whereas you're just like so so like happy and looking forward to it coming in. I feel that with the Six of Cups, that sweetness. So it feels like a power imbalance to me, where you are kind of like impatiently waiting. It's really funny. I felt this energy recently, and the way that I had described it is it feels like a kid at Christmas. So if I'm going to use that analogy, this is how my parents would do it, is they would say that my sister and I were not allowed to open anything before 6 a.m. So this is my parents, not in any hurry, sleeping in bed, like as slow as possible, right? And this energy feels like me and my sister standing at their bedside, like watching the clock turn from 5:59 to 6 a.m. or whatever, right? Like it's just, it feels like a big power imbalance where one side is kind of more invested than the other. But I feel like the flow of this kind of changing the resources kind of balancing and changing. That's interesting. I almost feel like I want to clarify that. I feel like that's the victory or the breakthrough, the success, the joy, the freedom that the sun is representing here. Is I feel like this, I feel like this person is going to, I don't know how to say this. I feel like in this connection, for me, it resonates as twin flames. For you, just, take it how it resonates for you, right? But for me in the twin flame connection, it feels like you almost like backing off of that excited energy a little bit more, taking the focus off of this Knight of Pentacles and focusing a little bit more on yourself and your own joy. Like in the Sun card, right? She doesn't need anybody else to be joyful. She's joyful all by herself in this field with the sun. And I feel like it's almost like as you're alleviating that pressure from this figure, that's what gives you what you want, which is that he all of a sudden goes, oh, I have this awesome racehorse who would be fabulous at cantering across this field. And all of a sudden he hops on his horse and comes in. It doesn't feel like anything to me that's changing in the physical. It feels like something that's shifting and balancing on an energetic level where both parties kind of become equally eager or equally invested, rather than you kind of being a little bit exasperated and this person strolling along and taking their sweet time. What advice do you have for this collective, God? What advice do you have? The Eight of Swords. Yeah, it feels like, and the Fool. I love it. It feels like this eagerness, and it's it's a little bit sad to me because this eagerness is so sweet. The Six of Cups has such a sweet energy, and I really do feel like this is something that you've been so patient and so loving and diligent about, and really kind of tender and putting effort into it, right? This is something really beautiful that you've been growing on an emotional level, and the fact that it's not being reciprocated is a little bit heartbreaking. But I feel again it's kind of your own eagerness that's binding you a little bit. With twin flames, we talk about how if you're really kind of focused or fixated on the other person, on your twin flame, that's actually a repelling energy. So kind of talking again about that magnetism, it's the two poles of the magnets that kind of push each other away, right? I really feel like the balancing that's happening here is you kind of focusing more on yourself and your own joy and just being present in your everyday life. And all of a sudden, like I said, the release of that focus on this Knight of Pentacles figure is what makes him remember, oh, I have a racehorse. I might as well hop on that guy and head over a little faster. So the Eight of Swords is just that illusion of being bound or trapped somehow. You might feel like this situation will never resolve, or like, you know, this might be a twin flame connection that you've been working on healing for like years, right? Feeling like you're just kind of stuck and trapped in like this separation. And it's simply not true. One of the things I love about this card is that the binding is actually happening in her reflection in the mirror, right? So just remembering that like the world is a mirror, and you know, life is a manifestation journey. Being able to kind of look at what are you manifesting, why, and then, you know, if you don't like what you're manifesting, how can you kind of shift things or heal things so that you're manifesting something that you like better. The Fool to me feels like just completely releasing this old story and having like a brand new, completely fresh start. Like I often say about the Fool, that the Fool travels lightly. In this card, she doesn't even have any burdens or a pack or anything like that. She's just sort of falling back into this like beautiful sacred geometry design. I often like to imagine like the hand of God kind of reaching out to like catch the Fool, right? So just taking that leap of faith into a new energy. What it almost feels like to me is that if you're in this collective and this resonates here, there's kind of like a control energy coming from this, and also from this Four of Cups, like that eagerness or that almost like over fixation on this Knight of Pentacles figure. It feels like a control energy, almost like you're afraid that if you don't hyperfixate on this, then it will never come. And the Fool feels very much like just surrender. Just surrendering this whole situation to God, the universe, angels, source energy, like whatever resonates for you as a higher power. Surrendering the whole situation and recognizing that God is in charge, the universe is in charge, not you. And that you kind of can't force or control this dude to get on his horse. It's like I said, it's like being in that surrendering energy and letting off that pressure and that almost like hyper focus or hyper fixation is what makes this guy hop on his horse and want to come in anyways. So by having that complete surrender, that complete release, that's kind of how you get what you want. Although I feel you can't trick the universe, right? So if you're trying to be in this surrender energy just to get what you want, but you don't really mean it, then it doesn't count, right? The universe knows what is in your heart. Yeah, I feel like that's exactly what I'm talking about. This is the advice, right? So the universe is saying this being trapped in feeling like this situation will never progress, that's just an illusion. Completely surrendering this to the universe, kind of letting off that pressure. I really feel this energy as pressure, and that this guy's going to hop on this horse as soon as he feels like the pressure is off. And I feel like the Emperor and the Six of Wands is like saying this is in the card, right? The gender is the divine masculine, but take it how it resonates, right? It's your person coming in and you having like a huge victory here. Now that you've let the pressure off. I can hear sirens. That's funny. I usually live in a really quiet neighborhood, so I feel like that's confirmation. I feel like that's totally confirmation of this. This feels so joyful and so victorious to me, that he's just chilling now. Like, he feels pretty surrendered to me. This feels like a very well-adjusted emperor. This feels like a very, he's peaceful, he's calm, he's in his power. He's exactly where he wants to be, and where he wants to be is with you, is in this union, right? And I feel like this sort of surrendered, arms thrown up energy is very similar to the sun here. Kind of letting that pressure off, taking the focus off that person and focusing on yourself, right? Focusing on your joy, focusing on what makes you happy, what makes you feel fulfilled, what makes you feel free, what makes you shine, what makes you glow. I'm very drawn to the light, the large amount of light on the sun and the Six of Wands card here. I feel like that's, it feels to me like you focusing on your glow up. Yeah, I like that. The judgment is on the bottom here. I mean, speaking of glow up, she's literally like letting go of everything that's heavy, letting go of everything that's old. And it's just her beautiful soul that's like rising to the next level. It's reminding me very much of the Fool vibe. Surrender, surrender, surrender. I feel like that's the vibe of this reading here. This might be a short and sweet one. It's like a pretty clear message. Do you have anything else to say here, God, to this collective? Yeah, the Ace of Wands. Nice. That feels to me like a very passionate new beginning. I'm very much drawn to the flame on her forehead, which is feeling to me like the third eye. So if that resonates for you at all, maybe working with your intuition or really focusing on your intuition might be helpful at this time. Page of Cups, the Five of Cups, and the Wheel. We're kind of off the table here. Yeah, I feel like this is just the universe telling you that this situation is turning around. So the Page of Cups for me, I'm just feeling the sweetness of him and the kind of whimsy and the lightness. The person, so you kind of in this Four of Cups and Five of Swords energy over here, it feels very heavy. And like I said, there is some control vibe here. Maybe some worry, that sort of like hyperfixation, right? The Page of Cups feels so light and fresh and whimsical to me. I feel like that's kind of the energy that the universe is inviting you to get into, because that's the energy that has that magnetic like attraction, right? It's like a sweet, fresh, free energy. It's reminding me of the Fool as well. The Five of Cups. Yeah, the Five of Cups to me feels like a warning, just like a light warning from the universe, because this sort of face palm, this frustration, the like boredom energy here of it feels like a little kid in the car being like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Or like the example I gave about Christmas, like, can we open presents yet? Is it time yet? Like, there's just a part of you that's like so excited and eager, and it's so sweet. But I feel like the Five of Cups is warning that if you're in this collective, you might be focusing on like the things that you don't have instead of the things that you do have. So when it comes to manifestation, your manifestations kind of go where your energy is going. So if you're focusing or fixating on frustration, on irritation, on boredom, on the fact that this Knight of Pentacles is not here yet, right? You're going to keep manifesting him not being there. You're going to keep manifesting more boredom, more regret, more sadness, more frustration, because that's kind of where you're feeding or focusing your energy. So I feel like what's sticking out to me is, well, first of all, this black hole, right? So focusing on what you don't have is basically this black hole sucking your life force away. What I'm attracted to is this little bowl with all the beautiful kind of starry cups energy that's still in it. Focusing on like what you have power over, what you have control over to create in your life, right? Which is your glow up. It's your freedom. It's your surrender, right? It's your healing. It's enjoying like every precious moment, every precious drop of joy and freedom and goodness and happiness in your life. And really just like reveling in that and letting it in. And letting that be where your focus is, and letting that be the thing that you're manifesting, right? So I do feel that as kind of a warning to just, and that doesn't mean don't feel your feelings, right? If you're feeling depressed, hopeless, sad, frustrated, feel those feelings, right? Acknowledge them. You can like punch a pillow, go for a run, journal about it, like paint a picture about it, right? Whatever you need to do to acknowledge those feelings and let them flow, like do that. You don't have to pretend to be like Miss or Mr. Mary Sunshine if that's not how you feel. But after kind of acknowledging those feelings and letting them flow, kind of making the choice to cultivate the magic that's left in that last cup, right? That joy, that freedom, that just enjoyment of your life, rather than fixating on the fact that that Knight of Pentacles is just not here yet, right? I feel like the wheel is just showing that the universe is here supporting you, like the energy of God, source, the angels, like everything good, right, is here supporting you to turn this whole situation around. I really feel like I'm seeing this gesture, this like releasing, like sort of these tense hands, and then like the releasing of that, right? That's the surrender. That's the releasing of the control or the expectations that allows this situation to turn around. And I feel like I'm seeing too, like I'm not a good snapper, but like a snapping fingers. Like it's almost like the second that you just let that go and give the energy a chance to breathe, like snap, then the universe gives this guy the inspiration of, oh, let me hop on my racehorse. That feels really powerful. I like that. I'm going to read from a couple of oracles. This is a cool reading. This is a very like pointed reading. So if this doesn't resonate for you, don't even worry about it. It feels very pointed, but it's very specific. Yeah, I really feel that frustration and that boredom of like, oh my goodness, I've been trying to manifest this for years. Like, why won't this guy just jump on his racehorse? These two wanted to hop out here. So we have past life relationship. You have known each other before. Yeah, that for me resonates for twin flames. I know not everyone is on their twin flame journey, so this could be like a past life soulmate if that's what resonates for you. Engagement, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Nice. I mean, yeah, it's kind of what this feels like, is in that releasing, in that surrendering of control and switching your focus from this Knight of Pentacles person to yourself and kind of your own glow up. This guy making the choice to hop on his horse and come towards you, that feels like a commitment, because all of a sudden it's almost like the Ace of Wands, like a fire. It's like a fire lit under his butt. And he's just like, oh, I actually want to get over there now. It's like a decision moment. It feels nice. It feels really nice. It's that commitment, that choice to come towards you, to kind of come towards the union. This is like a very simple, beautiful, and really powerful reading. If you're in this collective and this is resonating at all, I feel like the most important card on the table is the Fool. Just that complete surrender energy. So if you're not very familiar with tarot and you feel called to do so, it might be helpful for you to look up the Fool and kind of learn a little bit about that energy. Just releasing and taking that leap of faith that like God's got you. The universe has got you. You're not going to control this Knight of Pentacles into getting onto his horse. You have to surrender that and give it to God. And God's the one who gives him the inspiration to do that when he's ready, right? So it says 4-4, Holy Grail Code, receive the gift. So it's interesting because at first I was inclined to say this Knight of Pentacles feels like the gift, but he's almost like the secondary gift. The real gift is this Sun card. This is very much resonating with the Sun for me, because the Sun is like you in this like joyful glory of just like soaking up every drop of lightness and love and good and freedom and beauty. I love the energy of this, is like really awesome. This, to me, this goes right like this. I mean, this is the gift. This is the true gift, right? It's not getting the thing outside of you. It's not getting the person outside of you or the relationship outside of you. It's you in complete glory and like devotion and surrender to your relationship with joy and with love and with peace. And for me, all of those things are God. Like, this is like the heart of God, and you're like opening up to him and just receiving that beautiful energy. It's awesome. That's the Holy Grail. Receive the gift. To me, the gift is God. That's like so lovely. We have 5-5 breakthrough, processing karmic debris. That's interesting. Debris. Karmic. I wonder, we've had a couple of past life things come up here. The 6 of Cups, I was saying, feels like a thing from the past, right? And then we have this past life relationship card. So it makes me wonder if this dynamic around like this kind of power imbalance, or like you're more into it than they are, or like they're really slow and you're kind of waiting for them. Like, I wonder if this is a dynamic that you guys have played out in past lifetimes. And part of the reason probably why it's coming up in this lifetime is to be able to break that pattern. And I feel like the cards have given very clear advice around how to do that, which again is around you focusing on yourself and your glow up and like your joy and glory in your own life, and being like the Fool, just completely surrendering it to God and trusting that God is the one who gets this guy on his horse. It's not something that you have to control or worry about or anything like that. I feel like we might have one more card. I feel like I keep being compelled to just keep shuffling and shuffling. I don't know if it's because I haven't done a reading for a little while. I had to skip when I was traveling for the holidays. My flight was super delayed, so I wasn't able to read. We have Sacred Sexuality, 9-9, accessing the unified field. And then 7-7, heal abandonment, time to forgive. That's beautiful. I feel like this energy is relating to the Ace of Wands. To me, that feels real steamy. Yeah, this to me feels like the spark, the fire, the flame, the blaze of this relationship coming together, and the passion that will be there. I just heard in my head when I said that, get ready for it. So if that's something, yeah, I don't know who that is a warning for, but get ready for it. It's not even a warning. It's like a heads up, right? But there's a lot of passion incoming once you surrender and this relationship actually comes together. This healing abandonment, it feels to me like who you need to forgive is both just this situation, like you might have some blaming energy or some resentment against this Knight of Pentacles figure for not behaving the way that you want them to, right? Like you want them right here, right now, and they're taking their sweet time, being able to forgive them for that, right? Like they're working through their own stuff. They're kind of following what they think is the right thing to do. I don't feel like they're doing it to be mean or something like that. They're just enjoying their walk through the field on a sunny day. But I also feel like there's an abandonment happening around yourself. Like you're kind of so focused or hyper fixated on this Knight of Pentacles that you're kind of denying yourself this glow up. I feel like that's what that 8 of Swords is talking about, where you're almost feeling bound in like waiting mode instead of reveling in the glory of the present moment, right? And just having that connection with the divine and your divine self. It's really beautiful. That feels very clear and very complete to me. This is sweet reading. I hope that this was helpful. And if you're in this collective, happy healing. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.